This is video 2 of the series of videos that will be released explaining the operations of the FedForm application. This is application number 2, which is pertaining to the Apache helicopter. All you will need for this presentation or demo is a sensor tag and the EvoThings bridge running on your cellular device. Now you can experiment with the sensor tag without the physical model. But once the physical model is on stage and we use the physical model, the sensor tag will be placed within that model, and any action on the sensor tag or from the sensor tag will be derived from the sensor that's within the Apache helicopter. I will attach a photo on how to position your sensor to tip it and move it to sort of emulate the action of the Apache helicopter, the model helicopter. And you can test run through the application on your own. So my sensor is called Apache. That's what I named it within my EvoThings bridge. Directly below that I have an area for 2 parts. Now this is part of the Visual Enterprise integration into this application. Oftentimes we receive a 3D model that does not have any metadata, so we cannot distinguish one part from another. So we've devised a way to be able to enter parts here and have those 2 parts as clickable within the 3D model to display charts and graphs and sensor readings, so on and so forth. Now to get the part, I'm simply going to launch this model here. I'm going to refresh my screen quickly. And once it's loaded, I'm simply going to press the load button right here. And my 3D model of the landing gear appears. Now there's 2 parts I want to have as part of my demo, and that's the inner brake plate here. And you can see the part number is listed. That's one of the numbers I'll be using. And then the hydraulic line here. And that's the other number I'll be using. So simply move back to your application, enter those 2 part numbers real quick as 00D950, and the second one is 00D9. AD90. Now you'll have to run this portion of the application and define your part numbers because they are different from client to client. Once I have it selected, I'm going to press the begin button, and the scene of the Apache helicopter landing on the runway will appear. Now initially nothing will happen within the application until I press the start model button. So when I press the start model button, what will happen is a helicopter will approach the runway. At that point, or when the helicopter hits the runway and a puff of smoke appears, we're going to turn on our mechanical Apache helicopter, which is going to shake the sensor like that. So move the sensor forward. Now, at that point, the dashboard will appear with some key KPIs that relate to the actual Apache helicopter. Now in the upper left-hand corner, notice the Apache helicopter will move with my sensor. So as I tip my sensor forward, it will tip, and as I tip it backward, it will tip. Now also in the dashboard, we have a speedo that monitors tire pressure of the main landing gear. We have surface temperature that monitors the temperature of the runway. That's a temperature that's derived from our sensor tag. And we also have the main landing gear chart that monitors vibration. So again, once that helicopter hit the runway, we want to monitor vibration. So if I take my sensor tag in hand and just simply shake it around, you can see the chart actually changes real time, along with the Apache helicopter in the upper left-hand corner. We also have a 3D image of the landing gear that I could scroll left and right on to see different views or different angles of the landing gear. Now, all of this down directly below the chart itself is just there for filler or decoration, if you would. At this point, we're going to launch the 3D visualization or the Visual Enterprise integration, and I'm going to press the Open Analysis button here. Once launched, I'm going to press the Load button. It's going to load the 3D model. Once the 3D model is loaded, I can begin to rotate, zoom in, zoom out, do different things with the actual model itself. Now, there were 2 part numbers that I defined at the beginning of this presentation: the inner brake plate and the hydraulic line. If I click on the inner brake plate, you'll notice a chart and detailed information about that inner brake plate appears. This is very important. We're actually getting sensor readings live in real time from that brake plate, whereas receiving information after the fact. Now, all of this information, even if it's derived artificially, is being logged to HANA. So if I want to run additional reports and analysis against that data, I certainly can. Also notice to the left, we have a picture or a QR code that appears. That QR code can be scanned with your Vuzix glasses, and it'll step me through the process of changing the part within that landing gear. Directly above that, I have the hydraulic line. If I click on it, oops, sorry, missed it. Notice a different chart appears. That's going to monitor hydraulic fluid through that hydraulic line for pressure. And directly to the right of that is some detailed information about the hydraulic fluid. Now to close this window, I simply close the analysis button or hit the closed analysis button, and I'm taken back to this screen. If I wish to run that exercise again, just simply hit the Run Again button up here, and it'll go through the exact same exercise where the Apache helicopter approaches the runway, and we go through the same process again. So once again, the sensor is for the presentation will be placed inside the helicopter, but you can test and run through this thing, this presentation, with just a sensor tag in hand or in front of you, and I will show you how it's positioned and how you should tip it. Hope you enjoyed. I'll talk to you soon.